First, thank you for watching the first video. I really appreciate it. Secondly, this video I'm going to cover kind of fast, just a little bit of numbers and statistics for you about the National Sex Offender Registry. First, my own personal opinion. I believe that the National Sex Offender Registry is a good idea. It's a great concept, but it's a failed program. I got many different reasons why I feel that way. First and foremost, I think once you are registered as a sex offender, there should be no getting off the sex offender registry. After all, a victim is a victim for the rest of their lives, so they should have to register for the rest of their lives for creating those victims. Secondly, there's nobody there that oversees personally that these registered sex offenders stay compliant. I know that in Idaho anyway, the Idaho Department of Corrections, the Idaho Department of Corrections Bureau of Probation and Parole say that they're committed to the public safety and supervision of current sex offenders that are on probation or parole actively right now. So that means that as soon as they get off probation or parole, they have nobody that looks over them and they have to report to. I think this is bullcrap. I firmly believe that once you have to register, you should always have to be registered. There should be no levels, no tiers, no first level, second level, third level. Like in our state, I think it's 5 years. You have to register for 5 years, and then you can get off for certain crimes, and we'll cover those later. 10 years for other crimes, and life for other crimes. And I'm a firm believer in, if you're a sex offender, then you should have to register for life. After all, I will be a victim for the rest of my life. It also goes on, our probation and parole also goes on to say that our Department of Sex Offender Officers, unit officers, receive specialized annual training specific to sex offender supervisions and monitor compliances of all offenders on a daily basis. So I'm actually going to go to our county's felony probation and parole office and actually see if they actually do that on a daily basis and what they mean by that. There are currently 786,000 some odd registered sex offenders on the National Sex Offender Registry. It actually went down from the year before, which was just about almost to 800,000 in 2021. In 2022, we're just sitting at 780,000. In the United States each year, there are 463,634 filed cases of rape, sexual abuse, molestation in the United States each year. Now, I'm just going to break this down a little bit. It goes to show, the math will show that the numbers cannot be right on the National Sex Offender Registry. Out of the 463,634 cases, let's say 163,634 of those cases are bullshit cases, meaning that the person lied or what have you. Not ones that are just dismissed, but bullshit cases. I did that just to make numbers easy. That leaves 300,000 remaining on new cases filed each year. Let's say out of those 300,000 cases, 150,000 of those cases are cases that get dismissed and are plea bargains out, so they don't have to register as sex offenders. That leaves 150,000 total sex offenders that should be put on the sex offender registry every single year. So the numbers just don't add up. Couple more little statistics here. Adolescent sex offenders have committed an average of 6.8% of sexually admitted to average of 6.8% sexually abused acts Most adolescent sex offenders, 61%, abuse more than one victim. The average adolescent sex offender abuses 7 different victims, with some juveniles disclosing as many as 30 or more victims, and many perpetrators victimize each victim more than once. So just on adolescent cases alone, the numbers just aren't right. I'm going to do an audit on here in the next couple weeks at our felony probation and parole, just to see what kind of numbers they come up with and see exactly how they're doing their jobs and how they're not. The next time I get on, I'll touch more into individualized states, I believe. In each state, well, I don't know if it's each state, but from what I've seen so far, certain states have what they call the Sex Offender Management Board, which is part of the out of the Department of Justice in each state capital. So if you want to know specifics about those, just get a hold of your Idaho or your Sex Offender Management Board for your state, and I'm sure they'd be happy to help you. They really won't be, but I'm sure they will be. I want to see a change when it comes to the National Sex Offender Registry, because all too often, too many cases go unheard. Most rapes and sexual assaults were not reported to the police. 63% of completed rapes, 65% of attempted rapes, and 74% of completed and attempted sexual assaults against females, just females alone, are not reported to police. 74% are not reported to police. I don't know why that number is so high, and our country is just falling apart when it comes to sex offenders. I know in our state, if you're on probation or parole and you're a felon, you can't hang out with other felons, and they're actually housing registered sex offenders in the same apartment complexes with each other, which don't make sense to me. So maybe you guys can do a little bit of research and let me know how it is in your state. Thanks for watching Get to Know. I really appreciate it. Remember, this is Get to Know, what Get to Know is all about. Doing another one. Coming back at you here in the next couple days. Thanks, guys.